On Tuesday this week, I spoke at the official opening of a major jobs fair held at the Europa Hotel. This was organised by Belfast City Council in association with the Department for Communities. There were many hundreds of people attended and filled in applications for jobs which were on offer from over 70 companies who had stalls. And by all accounts, it was a very successful event, both for members of the public and the companies who attended. I was pleased to host the launch of this year's Belfast International Athletics meeting, taking place at the Mary Peters track on the 24th of June. This annual event is organised by the Irish Milers Club and Beachmount Harriers and is probably the fastest athletics meeting taking place in Northern Ireland each year. It was great, as always, to be joined at the launch by our own Olympic superstar, Dame Mary Peters, and Jack Agnew, who is a top wheelchair athlete. I also hosted the final presentation of cheques from the annual Belfast One World Run. This event has taken place in Belfast for 30 years, since 1987, and raises funds for Oxfam Ireland, Concern Worldwide, Trócaire and Christian Aid, supporting their work in developing countries. It was a pleasure for me to present the final cheques and congratulate those who've kept this event going for those 30 years. On Friday, I hosted a breakfast with VoiPic, that's Voices of Young People in Care, to mark the annual Care Day. And we followed this with a good discussion on the needs of young people in care and those who have left care. It was a pleasure to be invited to address a meeting of the Rotary Club of Belfast, speaking to them about the positive developments in Belfast over recent years and commending them for their ongoing support for worthy causes. It was also a pleasure to speak to the seniors group at St Matthew's Church of Ireland in Woodvale, speaking to them about my experiences as Lord Mayor. And it was a particular pleasure for me to host a meeting of the Retired Ministers Fellowship of the Methodist Church, many of whom I have known over the years, again speaking to them about my experiences as Lord Mayor and also during my years in community work in North and West Belfast. I was pleased to welcome those attending the annual touring lecture in City Hall. This is part of our support for the Northern Ireland Science Festival, which grows in status each year. We concluded our celebrations of the Chinese New Year as Belfast City Council partnered with our Chinese consulate in a cultural celebration at City Hall, which was attended by people from across Northern Ireland. I enjoyed attending the Live Here, Love Here awards run by Keep Northern Ireland Beautiful and presenting the Eco Schools Award to Park School. It was a pleasure to welcome some more youth organisations on visits to City Hall, including the Rainbow Guides from my own church at Joe Mount Methodist and the members of the Scout Packs in West Belfast District who attended all together and enjoyed a tour of City Hall with me. Our youth organisations continue to do great work across the city.